What's up, guys? Back in today with another reaction to This Monster Wants to Eat Me, this time with episode 8. Really good episode last week. Love the ending of the kind of beach segment. I did on a quite lovely note, actually. Always forgetting the main character's name, but touching her scars. Yeah, just ended really wholesomely, and then we moved on to helping out a basketball trip, where we also met another interesting character that seemingly has some scars herself, and I specifically remember, even Shiori, that's the one. Shiori saying that they might lick each other's scars and kind of help each other, which he's a little bit worried about. Not sure why she'd be worried about that. Maybe because she might like depend on her too much, or grow close to someone that she doesn't want her to grow close to. You'd think, oh, that would be a good thing if they lick each other's scars, so that would make our main character want to live more, which is her goal as well. But something about that clearly upsets Shiori a little bit, so see how that goes. I was thinking initially, like, maybe this woman that we're speaking to is like a yokai as well, but I think she is just a human with trauma of her own. She's like the only other character introduced to this series, so there's clearly going to be like something interesting about her. The cause of cracks. I think she does remind her of her mother, doesn't she? Have a little bit of a similar look. Maybe she thinks, like, in regards to progressing past her trauma and past her family's death, it reminds me a little bit of Summer Hikaru died, in a sense. She won't be able to grow past it too much if someone in the figure of her mother is going to be by her side, because then she can never move past her mother. Maybe that's the thing. If she's got another figure that acts as her mother, she won't actually be able to grow. Maybe that's where the worry comes from on Shiori's side. But there was a bit of a I knew that they wouldn't pick up on this. There was a bit of a sinister kind of end to last episode, which I kind of had a feeling wouldn't really go anywhere. Kind of felt like they ended up on a cliffhanger just so that they could end off on a cliffhanger, and that wasn't actually a cliffhanger, as evidenced by that. I hope I'm wrong. Just a taste. Just peel a bit of skin off. I said this, I'm not sure if I said in this series, but I love my scars personally. I got quite a few on my legs. I got a big one on my knee that I had on holiday, but they've got like a memory. Obviously, in this sense, you wouldn't like it because the memory associated to the scar is a horrible memory. But a lot of my scars have like good memories. Just doing like stupid shit. I quite like my scars. Might not look pretty or whatever, but yeah. Again, I mean, very different. Very different for her. Sorry, that subtitle did go by quite quickly. It was a miracle. The injuries were so bad, it was a miracle that she survived. Hence the ginormous scar on her chest. Who's that? That maybe her auntie or something. I think we did hear of her auntie kind of taking something along those lines, right? Her auntie's like taking care of her or something like that. Oh, the subtitles weren't that quick. I think I'm gonna bring up a question here. If you were like a 3-year-old kid and your whole family died, I think I'd always like try and help them live and be like it is in this situation. But sometimes you would think maybe it would actually be more forgiving to have them die. A person that lost their whole family. I don't think you could ever do that, but it is like one of those questions. Maybe you'd be better off dead instead of living a whole life of loss and depression and trauma and such. I don't think that should be the case. Like I said, I feel like in every case you should always try and help and save or help the person live and so on. But in their head, maybe it would have been better off if they died back then. Something you see quite often. Survivor's guilt, such. Certainly doesn't look like one. Oh. Oh. Looks like it's been used. What was that just doing around here? Oh my god! Oh my god! Have any of you guys seen what is it called again? Malignant? Have any of you guys seen that movie by James Wan? That's a hell of a movie, by the way. It does start off quite slow, but fucking hell. That gets into some craziness in the second half. I love that movie. We got Malignant here. Oh my god. I don't want to spoil it. I guess I kind of already have a little bit, so I won't say too much more. But if you guys have seen that movie, yeah, you guys know what I'm saying right here. It's the woman from Malignant. I forget what the other side's called. It's got like a really badass name. Um, it's like a religious name, Azazel or something along those lines. I forget exactly what it's called, but yeah. So she is a yokai, or maybe this is just in Hinako. Is it Hinako's mind? Like rusty axes. You guys remember that Rusty Spoons fucking video? Like 20 years ago. But yeah, an underrated movie, Malignant, honestly. Check out if you guys haven't seen it. It's a hell of a lot of fun. And for yourself. Just your classic. That's how it. If you guys have seen any like 70s, 80s movie, especially horror movies, what do the girls do? Pillow fight, of course. That's what they do when they have like sleepovers and stuff. Just pillow fight. Oh my god. Well, that's some tongue that is. Freaky. Oh. Love that. Not quite. So she was a human that became a yokai. Maybe she couldn't ever. So that was true what she said there, but yeah, interesting. I couldn't tell even when you did. You just one freaky lady. Joking, of course. You're just too tasty. Get angry, you know. Oh, here we go. Tentaclized as well. The Japanese love their tentacles. Run for your life. Yeah, interesting, that isn't it? You're just about to run for your life in a situation where you actually want to die. That's why I said earlier, like these people may want to die and join their family and believe they should have died, but in actuality, sometimes that's not the case, especially when you're really brought down to the raw kind of fundamentals of being a human and living and surviving. That's why I said earlier you shouldn't ever like honor or do those requests of the people that say stuff like that, especially the younger they are, but even if they are adults as well. Yeah, even if she survives it, she want to get that sorted out because that could be fucking. That could cause some issues. That rusty ass axe right there. What does this? Weird thing to say to that. Has she? Don't remember that. I think she did like. I do remember there being quite a bit of blood, especially in that first episode. So maybe she like snuck some in or something. I don't remember that. Why would she do that? Why would she add her own blood to someone so tasty that she's gonna eat? Would you guys infuse your own? Don't even want to say it. Just want to pause for a minute so I don't miss anything. But would you guys infuse your own bodily liquids and stuff? I mean, I guess we do mix like saliva and stuff when we eat, of course. But I think that's different. Would you like? It just reminds me of fucking. What is it? Is it ah, Junjito? Is it? I'm not sure if it's Junjito, but it just reminds me of like those horrible characters. They got like head lice or dandruff, and they like. I think it's actually a live action movie. I don't think I've seen the movie. Maybe I have, but it's about like this diner restaurant that got some filthy individuals, and they have like a bad customer, and they go in, they like rip some pubes out, put it on the food, shake their dandruff head on it for salt, like all kinds of disgusting stuff. And like, would you do that? Like, this isn't exactly the same, but essentially it's like similar. Like, would you? Why would she put her own blood in her potential food in the future? Like, what does that? Like, I don't remember that like specifically being pointed out either. Like, maybe I'm just my memory's bad, which it isn't some things. But the only thing I can remember is again there being quite a bit of blood in that first episode, but I think it was of the monster. There have been times where blood has gone on Hinako, but I don't specifically remember Hinako like having an open wound or anything, and Shiori kind of like putting her blooder in there or anything. So maybe she done that in the sneak. Maybe I'm just forgetting. I'm not really sure. But the more important question is why? Why would you do that? Again, that would seemingly kind of. I wouldn't feel like this, but if I was to put myself in her position, that would kind of ruin my meal. No, just taste your own blood. Like, it's also like I'm thinking maybe it's something to do with her kind of intertwining human and kind of yokai kind of blood, and that creates a new kind of being or something. But why would she want that to be the case? So, yeah, this brings up a very interesting question. This doesn't it? It's gonna kill her before she says anything. Oh, for the full form. The full form. Oh shit. What's that in her eyes? Not quite. Not quite. Pretty cool though. No, she doesn't look as monstrous. I was expecting her to be quite fat. Not that you're monstrous if you're fat, don't get me wrong, but it certainly does like add to a monster's that kind of greed, if you know what I'm saying. But she doesn't actually look quite as scary or monstrous as I thought, to be honest. We didn't get a great look at her there, but from what we saw. Or maybe she done it when she was touching her scars or something. I don't know. Anyway, good timing for Shiori. She's quite upset. Maybe at the reveal of that and all the talk from that woman. Maybe she's upset because she got exposed as the monster she is a little bit. I doubt that one. I probably more in line with the first thing I said, but it could be that second one as well. Because I love heart, that blood there. So her eyes still fucked up. Won't be cool. So I guess that cliffhanger was a kind of cliffhanger. It didn't like immediately go anywhere. I guess it was a cliffhanger left for later in the episode, but yeah. Smell her coming a mile away. Fishy. But yeah, she certainly seems very affected by this, doesn't she? Very affected. I don't know how I managed that. I love that pose from Mika right now. Proper fox. It can't be comfortable. Unless you're a fox. So she kind of implanted these memories into people as well, what we heard about in earlier episodes. Okay. Kind of sucks for them though, because they've lost a worker. Whether they remember her or not. They'll be like, oh, where'd all this work come from? I swear we didn't used to have this much work. That must be really annoying. But yeah, true. I guess they're just back how they supposed to be. Honestly, if I was working there, I'd be like, yeah, fuck it, get a yokai in. Especially Mika. I mean, I guess that's happening right now, even without her. I suppose Miko and Ko and Shiori are kind of helping out, so I guess that's actually quite similar, though we don't really think of it that way. Yeah, suspiciously so, huh? Suspicious, like no open wounds, no scab, already scarred over. I've always sounds weird, but I've always kind of been really good at healing. It sounds so strange. I pause so I don't miss anything. It's going to sound so strange, but I've always healed quite quickly. Um, and I've always healed. What's it called? I can always like. Again, this is going to sound so strange, but after a period where I used to do a lot of drugs and drinking, when I kind of got over that, I could feel my body kind of rejecting that stuff. At a point, and then I could just I've always had this weird feeling of feeling myself like heal. Probably won't make sense to a lot of people, but like I can like internally feel the healing of myself. It sounds so weird, but I could like if I did take anything or anything like that, I could feel my body like try and expel it. When you hear that, you probably think of like throwing up and such, and that was one of the ways it did in some cases. But I could just feel like the rejection from my inner body to stuff like that, and I've always been quite in tune with. Yeah, probably sounds very strange. It sounds strange to me, so I can't imagine how it sounds to other people. But I'm not sure really why I bring that up. But yeah, I've never heard it. Like, I don't speak about it to other people or anything because I've never heard anyone else talk about it, so it just sounds weird. I obviously don't heal like this. I do have cuts and scabs and scars, and obviously it takes its time, but it's always been quite lucky in that regard. But it's quite ironic considering I don't have the best immune system. I don't think I do get ill quite easily, which you think wouldn't be the case with what I said before, but that is certainly unnatural, isn't it? That is certainly unnatural, is what I meant to say. Apologies. That is certainly unnatural. It's an unfamiliar environment, so be careful. Lesser. What the hell? Why's she back? Really? Oh, you tried? So that scene there. I'm probably wrong about this, but my initial thought there was maybe some of her blood got mixed in Hinako as well, and maybe that's why she can see her. Her blood's like she isn't actually there, but she's seeing like a vision of her within herself because of the blood got in there. But I guess that's not the case. She is actually here. But if that is the case, why was there such a focus on the wound right here? It's especially interesting because I also said earlier about the rusty axe. Like getting cut by anything rusty like that is very dangerous. So it's even more like weird. So yeah, what's like that about? I mean, there's obviously they tried to pokes on it, so that's mean. Yeah, floating head. You fucking apologize. She hated her husband's daughter. Did she kill her husband's daughter then? Then some kind of divine punishment had her killed as well. But she regrets it now. Which, there's no making up for killing a kid if she did do that, but maybe she could rest in peace potentially when she does move on. So it was when we first met? Or maybe even before that. Yeah. So she did, maybe she did have something to do with the incident. No, why would she lie about this? Weird thing to lie about. Okay. Like I've said it every week, but there's certainly much more to that initial incident with her family than we think, isn't there? Like guaranteed. It's just like it's been done so vaguely so far. There's clearly things they're keeping from us. Was it just a meal she would have started preparing tens of years ago? Or her dinner? Which again, this is interesting considering you could have let the woman you're speaking to right now eat you. But that's another interesting question. Is that not an essence of friendship in a sense? Fulfilling something within another person? So yeah, like I said, another. Sorry, I keep pausing, but right at the end, so this will be the last one, of course. But yeah, like as I said, like is that not the essence of like? I mean, it would be a bit transactional to call that, wouldn't it? I don't think you could call that true friendship. Maybe just like filling each other's desires like this. But in essence, I guess you could define it as that. No, fulfilling each other's loneliness by having someone there. I guess that would fulfill what each other's desire, whether that be some kind of social status. Like those are fake friendships for sure built off that, but maybe even some real ones. Thing to think about. We're just granting each other's desires. That certainly sounds more than like strangers, doesn't it? That sounds very intimate, very deep. There's a bit of a smell similar to mine mixed in there as well. Yeah. No, you think that would be the case. So that is the case here. Okay. I mean, you would assume that because of the whole mythology of this, you wouldn't. Oh, okay, nice, very nice. Okay, we're gonna get an ending with this. Cool. I imagine it's gonna end horribly. Yeah, you would assume that would be the case, as I just said, because of this being a show that isn't reality. It could be the case that it might be even more delicious, but clearly not. It is as we assumed. Okay. So yeah, again, I'm not sure. I assumed she killed her herself. It looks like she just didn't feed her properly. Maybe poisoned her. I don't know. I think she probably was at fault for her death. She was so unaffected. Damn. So yeah, she didn't just see something in this yokai as a mum. She also saw something in her as a daughter. So weird this, because it like I'm really not sure how to feel. Which sounds strange because she killed a little girl. Yeah, I'm actually quite happy to see her kind of again grow past that a little bit and find and kind of look back at it and regret it and like see the good in it. It's kind of like I kind of equate it. It's not exactly the same, but almost be given a life sentence. I guess she's kind of been given a life sentence as a yokai now. To always think about that and to have that like weigh on her. Um, but in the same way that the person still got a life sentence, I still hope that person would be locked up for life. But it's still like kind of admirable that they kind of see their faults and see where they went wrong and regret and maybe would want to go back and change that situation. So yeah, I feel very kind of a duality to it. It's kind of disgusting and horrific in a sense, but it's also like weirdly kind of wholesome and nice in another sense. Which I could say quite about a few things in this show, but yeah, I love that ending there. That was really nice, shedding a bit more light on the whole situation. We got quite a bit of it during the episode, but yeah, just fleshing out even more. Really like that. And I love that they went to the effort of doing this as well. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Loads to take in today. Loads of things of interest. The whole blood mixing situation. The healing of Hinako, which I imagine has got something to do with that as well. I love the design of this woman. Again, very, very inspired. I've definitely seen like things like that before. I mean, I think in Harry Potter there was something similar in the first movie, right? But I do think the best thing I've seen of that is Malignant, and that was just to even be in anything close to that movie, it was really cool to see. We got to see Shiori's monster design, not in full. It was like quite far away when it was like the full shot of her. We didn't get too much of a focus on her face apart from when she was biting the woman mother yokai. But that looked really cool as well. Not quite as horrific as I was expecting either, which maybe is saying something also. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought about this episode. Let me know if I missed anything and some of your guys' interpretations of things that happened this episode. Again, loads to discuss, so I would love to hear that. Leave a like on the video if you guys did like, and subscribe to the channel if you want to keep up to date. And I'll catch you next week with episode 9.